One year Rabbi Yisrael Baal Shem went and spoke to Rabbi Zev, one of his senior students, saying, "You shall blow the shofar for us all on Rosh Hashanah. But first I want you to learn every single kavana, each Kabbalistic secret of the shofar you should know, so that you'll have the proper intention when you blow." Now Rabbi Zev was quite excited, as anyone might be. He was overcome by joy, but also anxiety. Though elated, he'd been designated for something so great. He was nervous that he would have to carry this huge weight. And so quickly he began the task he was assigned, reading every writing on the shofar he could find. Soon he learned the Kabbalistic secrets of each sound, how they penetrate the soul and affect the world around. And carefully he wrote down notes about every kavana, and then prepared the perfect reference sheet for Rosh Hashanah. For in the palace of the king there's many gates and doors that lead to many halls and rooms on many different floors. A palace keeper must have many keys upon his ring, for each one opens up a door in the palace of the king. Rabbi Zev was ready when it came to New Year's Day, the morning of Rosh Hashanah, the first day of Tishrei. He stood up on the bima in the center of the droves of Hasidim, in the synagogue of the Baal Shem Tov. In the corner of the room his master looked on knowing, standing at his table with his face like fire glowing. A fearful silence filled the air, for they had at last reached the climax of the day when they would hear the shofar blast. But when Rabbi Zev reached in the pocket of his coat, his heart froze because he could not locate his note. He knew he had it with him when he left his home at dawn. He remembered bringing it to shul, yet somehow it was gone. He searched frantically in fear, till it became quite clear. The sheet with all the kavanot he wrote had disappeared. His heart broke over letting down his master who had asked and trusted him to be prepared for this most sacred task. For in the palace of the king there's many gates and doors that lead to many halls and rooms on many different floors. A palace keeper must have many keys upon his ring, for each one opens up a door in the palace of the king. The rabbi searched his memory, but he could not recall a single thing he learned. Somehow he forgot it all. His eyes welled up with tears, his broken heart just sank, for in distress his mind was drawing up a total blank. So Rabbi Zev blew the shofar on that Rosh Hashanah, as though it were a simple horn without any kavana. In despair, with a broken heart, the rabbi blew just the basic shofar sounds he was required to do. Afterwards, he couldn't look his master in the eye. He made his way back to his seat, where he began to cry. But when he finished davening, he looked up from his place, and hovering above him was his master's smiling face. "Good Yom Tov, Reb Zev, you blew us all away. I never heard a shofar blown as well as you blew it today." He replied, "Rebbe, you must not understand." But the Baal Shem Tov just cut him off as soon as he began. He said, "In the palace of the king, there's many gates and doors that lead to many halls and rooms on many different floors. A palace keeper should have many keys upon his ring, for each one opens up a door in the palace of the king. And yet there is a single key that fits in every lock. And if you have that master key, you never have to knock. For with it you can open even the most inner part in the palace. The master key is a broken heart, and today you had that master key that opens every lock. And since you had that master key, you didn't have to knock. With it you just opened even the most inner part in the palace. The master key was your broken heart."